Magic Jasmine, and welcome to my channel. This channel is about growth, healing, and spiritual warfare. And you have clicked on my shadow work class. This is a free class. This is done for your benefit. My suggestion is that you take notes and that you sit down, enjoy yourself, and let's get started. If you don't know what notes to take, my recommendation would be Cornell notes. But if you prefer to just do it any way that you prefer, this is the section that we'll be going over today. This will be in the next video, but this is the section we're going over there. We're going over parasites. So I would say right now, let's take a moment and let's breathe and let's clear the air. So this is how we breathe. We go in 3 and out 9. So in again. One more time. If you are wondering what noise that is, it's a tiny bowl I have. This is for your root chakra. A lot of what we are doing is going to be on the root chakra. It may be triggering, so I will be doing this throughout the video so we can stay stable, guys. So let's get started on the good stuff. I was just trying to let y'all get settled, and yeah, I'm gonna lean back and we're just gonna get into it. Okay, so let's see. First, let's talk about what this board even is. I know y'all can't see the whole board because it's actually a pretty big board, and I wrote a lot, and I need y'all to see the part y'all need to see. But this board is on narcissist, and narcissist as in a spiritual sense. And narcissists in a spiritual sense they're going to be parasitic. This is going to be your lowest level. These are people who have narcissist tendencies. These are people who are affected by narcissists. These are people who are it's very unaware. This is like most of the people watching this is gonna be the people that you know. This is gonna be like most of them. But then up here after that, like once if all that is successful, then you're now prey to something a little bit worse, and that's gonna get you closer to a demonic possession where your life starts acting all out of sorts. Over here you probably cannot see the other side, but then the other side is on archons, and these are going to be your arch nemesis. This is high level, where this is a low level, and they are aware of you but not themselves. So they are they're aware that there's something in you that they want, that they admire, but they very much hate it. So okay, like here, this is like you just got life a little all mixed up, and there are other things going on in the middle of that. This you got some ways about you, and you are kind of proud of them. And over here in the archon section is very much, these are high level individuals, and their goal is to really like take you out. And in the top section on the other far side is the children adult relationship, and that's really the heart of why we were even doing this. This is about children, and what, like, we have to start there because the poison is with the parents. The parents pass on the poison to the children grow up, and then they have children, and then they pass it on. And so first we gotta fix the adults. If we start with the adult, if we start healing, then our children do not have to inherit our sins. So let's start at the parasitic level, and then we're gonna work our way up, but not in this particular video. There will be, every section will have its own video. This is the first and only time we're going to have like an introduction this long on this particular subject. The next videos would be very much, hey, how you doing? This. Okay. let's get into business. But I know this is probably a lot of people's first time actually clicking on this or even knowing who I am. So I want to let y'all know what y'all are in for if you choose to watch this whole video or even continue to work through all the sections with me. So let's get started. Parasite. Parasites are basically attachments. And you know what a parasite is. A parasite is a outside organism that attaches to a host in order to feed off of them to live. So at first I thought that was like a COVID narcissist, but that's a little bit, they know what they're doing too. That's why they go further up here. So it's really truly it's just attachments, and the whole lot of this is just unawareness. And so let's go with let's talk about different types of parasites. But most parasites, what their intention to do is to break down your spirit. And in another section where I talk about the four horsemen, I already explained to you how can they break down your spirit, like what is the whole purpose of breaking down your spirit. Because if they break down your spirit, the air, your thoughts, if they can mess up your thoughts, they can weaken your thoughts, then they can get into your emotions. They can start playing with your mind. They can start playing with your mind and your thoughts. They can start controlling you and stealing your destiny. So that's why all that even matters. So parasites, they're attacking your thoughts mostly. So, and they're spirit breakers. So down here we have the first, so we're just gonna, because I have these numbers so they kind of flow. Because when I first made this, I made this out of nowhere. I was just, it was just coming to me. So now we got to make it make sense. So the first kind of parasite you might have is a reoccurring spirit. And a reoccurring spirit is a spirit that constantly comes back, jumps vessels for attack. Now this spirit will, it can be your co-workers, it can be your lovers, it can be your children, your friends, their NPCs. And this is different from, let's say, an archon on the other side, because these people, they still have spark in them, they still have love in them, they still they just had a weak moment and they were able to allow a spirit to come into them. And so, and that spirit was able to attack you at that particular time. Lots of times these spirits are going to be more heavier during karmic cycles. And they karmic cycles, I need to do a little more research on this. I was supposed to and I got distracted. But yeah. But they're gonna come in 3. Okay, now this is like if you were attacked and something like tragic, like let's say like you and your baby daddy got into it or something like that, and that might last for 3 years, you and your baby daddy not being cool with each other. Or like the 3 years is more like personal milestones that were not very I'm trying to think, personal milestones that change things. And that can happen for, and then you can even have good milestones. You can have a job opportunity and this job brings you good luck and good fortune for 3 years. So that can happen. These are like huge, like you just gonna get those because these are the things that are already in your life, pivotal points planted in your life. Those were already going to happen anyway. That's what the 3 years is. But when you put the 3 years, you got to put the 3 inside the 9. And so 9-year cycles are the cycles that basically, and this is a 9-10 because it's the year of 9, but they last for 10 years. So the last year of 9 was 2016. This is another year of 9. Think back to 2016 and what happened to you. If you didn't had a crazy last 10 years, think about what happened to you in 2016. Whatever happened to you, whatever wound that you that manifested at that time, it could have been betrayal, it could have been unworthiness, uh it could have been abundance, it could have been like you have a pivotal point in your life. And normally during these times, this is when these recurring spirit is going to come, and they're going to be in all these different people because they know that this is a time in your life, and this is like the opening to control the next 10 years? Are you going to belong to us, or are you going to get away from us? And so, like, y'all, this is like they preying on you. They preying on you. These parasites, these narcissists in that way. But y'all got to remember, we're talking about from a spiritual point of view. So right now, this is all still spirits. These are not, like, you're not going to say, oh, I think my mom, okay, I said my mom, but we're not going to say, oh, I think my friend's a narcissist, and but they only act like that every once in a while, or you mad at them right now. That somebody did something you like, I don't know why you did that. I don't know why you act like that. Like a drunk moment. Like this is like something like they just acted way out of character, and you can't figure out why, and they don't act like that all the time. They were under spiritual attack, and they were weak enough for that spirit to jump into their body. The other number I have here is 2325. I'm still trying to figure out what 2325 is, but 2325, when it was given to me, this talks about once in a lifetime situations. These are like true love situations. These are like the time that you could have, like, these are like pivotal timeline moments, like huge, really big. They only come around 20, like 23, 25 years. And the getchy thing about this one is, you know, but it's not going to come exactly like when you're 23. It's not going to come exactly when you're 25. But from, you know, when it was a time in your life that if you had chose something different, everything else would be different from then on. And I mean, not like the nine, not like something little. We're talking about like the love of your life. You let go. We're talking about you had a job opportunity and you could have been famous and you decided not to. We're talking about we're talking about you could have what yeah, that's what yeah. I'm trying not to let myself get stagnant and stuck, but yeah, that's what we're talking about. So over here also with the reoccurring spirit, you'll have a lot of these reoccurring spirits specifically are going to be the seven deadly lies, the seven deadly sins. And they don't really tell you why they're deadly. They just say, oh, you shouldn't do them. These seven deadly sins are actually like, they're not like, it's not like you do them and you go to hell type thing. These are seven deadly lies. Okay, first, let's break down the word sin. Sin means separation from God. So, when we say the seven deadly sins, the seven deadly separations, what separates you from God also? Lies. Seven deadly lies. So, if y'all want me to break that down all on its own, that has its own. It has its own. But basically those are going to be the recurring experience that keep jumping up. This is why you have moments like where you like, dang, I'm just eating all the time. I don't even know why. Yeah, gluttony done jumped in your body, and you keep having problems with your weight. Yeah, gluttony is a recurring spirit that keep gonna come at you. But you gotta, in order to fight that kind of recurring spirit, you must realize that it is a lie. Stop calling them sins and making it go, oh, I can't do them. I can't. You're going to experience them. The thing about these things is they're lies. So what is the lie on gluttony? The lie on gluttony is that you're not enough. It's that you're not enough. So, okay, gluttony is to do, like, gluttony is self-abandonment, okay? It's not about, because I had to reiterate that because gluttony and greed and all that stuff, and that can get a little confusing. But gluttony is self-abandonment, and that's a good way to try to separate it from greed, because greed is like a survival wound. Greed is a survival wound. If you feel like there would like you feel like you have to keep and hold on to things because they like, okay, is gluttony has to do with self-abandonment. You let your and they be like you let yourself go. Yes, you let yourself go. But the way you fight that energy of letting yourself go is by discovering the lie. You you are important. You are valuable. You are cared for. You are everything that you need. When you start loving yourself in that way, then things such as the weight issue or eating too much will no longer be an issue. You're still self-abandoning. You're still overjudging yourself. You're still like that's why you're eating. It's something in you that is not there. You're empty on the inside. And this reoccurring spirit is just coming in and messing you up over and over again. And if you keep not listening, you're gonna end up at the top of this. But yeah. These spirits are often vengeful, resentful, bitter, okay? Because you notice, like, let's say you overcome something one time. When it comes back at you, it's like harder, like 10 times. You're like, dang, like, and then it's even more frustrating because you're like, I thought I got over this. I thought I fought this off. I thought I done fixed this. And the thing is, you have this spirit just came back even harder. It came back even harder. It's like, all right, you didn't believe that lie the first time. Let me see if I can get you to believe it again. I'm just gonna wait till you ain't paying attention. That's why it's important to stay on your protection work. It's important to stay grounded. It's important because you're always under attack. You got to realize that. And for some of us, these can be violent, and that's when they want to actually put their actual hands on you and yell at you and be all messed up, break your stuff. And then you have the no mercy version, which is they're crossing your boundaries. They're just constantly crossing your boundaries. And every time, and the more you say, stop crossing my boundaries, the madder they get. Every time you break it, it comes back and it's trying to, ooh. And the thing is, it wants to distract you or thwart you from your soul mission. Okay? From your soul mission. How will it do that? Okay? Because now we done talked about these spirits and how they come across and how they may appear and why they want to appear, because they want to they know time. They know how the universe goes in cycles and goes in time. If they can throw off your time, your universal time. We're not talking about earth time. We're talking about universal cycles and universal times. These things are in your birth chart. At what time certain things will happen. And just by like these people know you. You may not remember them, but they know you. They can tell by your energetic signature. They trying to fuck you up. And I know I was but I'm serious. Trauma. These people, these spirits are going to, once they're inside of these people, they can be in your lover, okay? And you trying to figure like, man, your man ain't never, like, yeah. Children, friends. And see, this is the other thing about these reoccurring spirits. They not just there. They're going to be in they're 10 people removed from you too. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it might not just your family might actually be solid, but then what about their friends? And then your friends might actually be solid, but what about their friends? And so the thing about that, about making sure that your circle is tight and making sure that your circle is on they shit, is because they can be weak. And the spirit can jump in their body and get to you. Okay? And it could be as simple as going to work. It could be as simple as your husband went to work. He done had one of them days. He ain't feeling too good. He come home. He got an attitude. Now y'all got an attitude in y'all house. You trying to talk to him. He act like he ain't hearing nothing you got to say. Then he go off on you and yell at you saying, I just want some space. Why you won't leave me alone? And you looking at him like, dang. We wasn't when you went to work this morning, it wasn't whew. So with that being said, everybody around you in your circle got to be checked out, and they got to be on their stuff. If they not keeping up with you, if they not healing with you, this is why. Okay. Before I get to the trauma part and how like before we get to the part that if this recurrent spirit succeeds to be in a person, because we're going step by step, this the spirit is attacking the person, and now the spirit is inside of said person. And then we're going to get to how it might affect you or the other individuals in your household. First, we got to talk about, this is why it is very important to check your circle. If you spiritual people, if you are quite spiritual, you got something you want to protect, you got something, your circle cannot be too big. Your circle cannot be too big. And you got to run a tight ship. If you're not healing, you making your armor is weak. If your armor is weak, you can get an attachment. You get an attachment and you attach to me, we might have a problem. So let's say this spirit do get attached to this person. This person may experience trauma in two different ways. Now, in the physical way of, we kind of already know, it can be SA, it can be actual hands on that person, it can be humiliation, it can be shame tactics, it can be like it's more like a forward attack. It's very forward. It's obvious that it's messed up, and it's gonna lead to soul pollution. But not only that, it does not have to be like straightforward. It can be like a marking, and a marking is like how and this is like social media too. This is why, like, that's what, spirits are everywhere. I didn't get to that part, but like, spirits are everywhere. Spirits are in your drinks. Spirits are in your food. Spirits are in your media. And you got to realize that while you listening to different music and watching different shows and stuff, you got to realize what you consuming, because you could be marking yourself. You could be developing aura pollution. And so one that's a good example is watching porn. So when you are watching PRN, because let me not I don't want this taken down. So when you are watching PRN, it seems like it's a simple thing to do, but we all know that later this will affect your sex life. This will affect how you view relationships. This will affect basically your sexual status. Like, it's a perversion. It's messing everything up. So it's gonna pollute your aura first. And see, this is like a slower soul pollution. All right, because let's say in this particular example of like PRN, basically you're watching that, and then that stuff does affect your aura. You start looking at people of the opposite. Well, you start looking at people that you want to have relations with, but just relations. You're not trying to build an actual relationship with them. Or you might have like, it's weird. I don't understand why I can't just have a relationship with my girlfriend. She won't, like, she thinks I'm weird because I want to touch her all the time, or I want odd things, or maybe said girlfriend feels like, I don't think you really care about me, all you want to do is have sex. Okay, well, after about a few relationships that kind of go like that, you're gonna have soul pollution, because you're gonna feel like, what is wrong with me? Because that's what all this comes to. What is wrong with me? And now you form an energetic cord with this attachment. Because now it's affected different parts of your life. It's you have memories, experiences, emotions. You have baggage on it now. So I will say this, they attack children first this way. Children that are highly protected, they would attract them, try to attack them this way. Children that are extremely, extremely, extremely protected, whew, extremely, extremely protected. I mean, they don't get they things don't happen to them as often, but that's the point. Protect your children. Protect your children. Okay? These are the children that their parents ain't watching them. It's no point in me sending a spirit to lay hands on you or to do put you in a weird situation. There's no point in me sending it. You're not attended. I can just put little seeds, and by the time that you're grown, they're gone. But let's say like you are a parent that actually is like, no, my kids don't get to just do different things. I want my kids to be in positive lights. When you send them out into the world, this could happen. Unless you are on top of your game again. These parents that go to the school and be like, hey, I don't know what y'all do, but I teach my child how to respect others. I prefer if your child respect others, or we gonna get some straightening around here. Okay? That's why your child gets picked on at school. That is why. Because your child got a light, and that marking situation didn't work. A lot of kids already at the age of 5 been marked by some type of something. It could be simply entitlement. They've been marked, or even wrath. The kids that got ODD, yeah, they've been marked already. But the child that is not marked, that's who always end up in a fight. Because those children that are marked, they are weaker vessels. They are weaker vessels. They will have these spirits in them, and they will attack your child. So be mindful if your child is saying this person is doing this and this person is doing that. Please do not think your child is just being a crybaby. They are being spiritually attacked physically by spirits that are using vessels. And please do not think it's just other children attacking your children. There will be adults attacking your children, telling them, and adults are they can't put their hands on them because of rules, but they will try to mark them by somehow trying to make them feel shame, make them feel less than, like something is wrong with them. And if they do that enough over time, let's say a child in the 1st grade is always being told, oh, you're disruptive. You gotta be away from everybody else. By the time they're in the 3rd or 4th grade, they think something is wrong with them. And nothing is wrong with them. They've been attacked. Now there's an energetic cord. Now that spirit has access to them through that attack. And if this spirit accesses them during a year that is pivotal, they may gain keys and access to this person for that amount of time. If something happened in 2016 that was real bad, you've been dealing with that same spirit for the last 10 years. I really want you to think about it. You've been dealing with that same spirit. If you had a spirit of lack, of not having enough, you've been broke for the last 10 years. Really think about it. If there was a spirit of, aggression and getting into it and getting in fights. You ain't got along with nobody for the last 10 years. It seemed like you did, it went well for like a little bit of time, and then it just seemed like all of a sudden, new people you know act like that, all messed up. Yeah, but so you got to. I'm not saying you got to, but yeah. Let me see where I am in all this fun. So now we're on 2. Let's get to 3. So after you done been marked, you got an energetic cord. You're infected. Okay, you're infected, and that's and 10 years, so many years, it don't matter. You're infected with this pollution until you clean it off, until you break these energetic cords. These people have, until you break access to you and your aura and your energy, they have access to you. How do they gain access to you? Remember, we're still in the air. We're still in your thoughts. What they're going to do is they're going to form beliefs from experience. That's why they attacked you here. That's why they marked you here. If they create experiences, they create beliefs, and the beliefs are codes. If you can believe that no one accepts me, I am not valuable, society isn't mine, like I'm an alien, I ain't from here. I mean, some of us really do feel like that, but some of us feel like that because no one has embraced you, or you don't feel like you can be yourself. Life sucks. Okay? We say that all the time. That is a code. Life does not suck. Life is a representation of the experiences. Life is divine. Really, life is divine. But you know, like, perspective. You can't just be saying stuff. But if you think life sucks, life will suck. But you're infected because life has sucked. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're doing. They're throwing you off. Like, when you got here, you had a set. Let me get my when you got here, and that says, damn, I thought we was family. Cause I ain't gonna lie, family will turn. But family, I didn't say that one probably because when we gonna get more on that when we start talking about archons. Whew. Anytime I do like a noise like that, it's because it's a lot I want to say, but I ain't say it. So, when you got here, you already had a timeline set up of what was going to have to happen and need to happen for you to reach your purpose, right? So, somewhere in here, they was like, fuck that. So that wiped all that out. Oh, here's the thing though. Time's still happening, and source, you still got a contract, so it still got to continue. But if they can fuck you up here, like, that's the thing, if they can keep on throwing you off, disappointing you, throwing you off of where you need to be, you will not complete your soul mission. That's the point of that. You will not complete your soul mission. You don't complete your soul mission. You don't wake up other people. You're not helping the collective. We're at war. We are at war. If the general never realizes he's a general, then he can't raise the army to fight. Y'all seen them movies? Y'all seen them movies when where there's like a character. Where I just saw one right now. I just saw one. Infinites. That's what it was called. And I don't know if it's still free on YouTube right now. But Infinites came in the show. You had one side that knew who he was, and they were trying their best to kill him. Grab him. Use him. And then you had the other side that knew who he was, but they was trying to wake him up. They was trying to give him the keys so he can come back and rock some stuff. You is him. You are him. You have these people trying to capture you, trying to lie to you, trying to tell you what so they can use you for their benefit. To end the world. And then you got people like me and Isis Wisdom and Real Kaya, and I'm just plugging in people. Y'all should already know these people. If you don't know these people, Rashad Jamal, keep just start digging around. They not the only people. These are just the people that I constantly come back to. But they are not the only people. Shoot, OG Dre, I'm just plugging them in. If there are any more creators that do stuff such as this type of stuff, and you know what I mean by this type of stuff, we talking spiritual. It does not have to be particularly shadow work class or something that makes you triggered, because OG Dre reacts. He does reactions. Real Kaya does reactions. So if it's just this is just a part where we're just going to share different YouTubers and share the information. Create a web. Because if we don't create the web, then we will never connect. So, and that's I'm plugging mine in because some of y'all may not know they exist. Same thing with me. If y'all have a person that y'all like, yeah, this person does great content. Every time I watch their stuff, I feel like I'm learning something or I'm engaged. Please drop their stuff in the comments so we can share, and I will likely have them all written down in the corner for other people, or put them in my links, because my goal is to share information. That's my goal. As long as we doing that, I'm good. So now we back on here. We're back on infected zombies and these codes. So let's say you do not get rid of these codes, or you filled with a lot of codes. Over here I do got codependency, but I'm not quite sure where I want to say marking can make you codependent. And once you codependent, marking can make you codependent. Because again, it's because now you think you need other people to validate yourself. So marking can make you a little codependent. But if you are an infected zombie and you got these beliefs going around and all that, then like I said, their goal is this is first level of trying to take you out. This is most people. This is like, you see people around you and they just got death around them. They're full of parasites. They're infected zombies, okay? Like, you listen to death music, which is, sex and drugs and guns, and people talking about that's what they they want to do that for the rest of their life. And I don't know, I like music that's just degrading, or even or even media like that, drinking and stuff, just drinking every day, or just I'm really trying to think like these is most everybody around you. This is most everybody around you. Y'all don't like, these are, and these include the people who are the generals, and they're supposed to be waking up. They're supposed to be waking up. But it's hard to wake up. You can't wake up with all this baggage. You can't wake up with all this baggage. And if I can weigh you down enough, if I can lie to you enough, if I can have you stuck enough, I can lower your life expectancy. Okay? I can cause you to have an addiction because you need something to fill your spirit. Because I done sat up here and tried to, I done fought with your spirit is tied. I've been fighting with your spirit since you got here. Your spirit is tied. So now I'm finna lower your life expectancy and cause you to have addiction. You can have addiction to sex, which is using your life force, or you can have addiction to drugs, which is using your life force. Either way, it's a loss of life force and distraction from purpose. And that's their goal, is to distract you from purpose. And for most of us, this is actually pretty easy because we are not aware, we are not prepared, we are not protected, we're not grounded, we're not doing the things that we need to do to be able to handle all of this, to keep our mind. Your mind ain't strong, you gonna end up here. You're gonna end up here. But see, here's the thing. Here's the lovely, the lovely and killing part about it. You didn't know. You did not know. So a lot of people did. That's why I'm finna get up here. A lot of us have gotten up here. Hell, I've even gotten all the way to the other side. And a lot of times, I gotta mention this too. There are two ways to move on this track, because the track is literally like kind of going, and then gotta go back down here. But yeah, the track is literally going the way it's going because you got, well, hold on, let me get back to my thoughts. Hold on. Ooh, and it's coming back. There it is. All right. So, and then I had fun singing and I lost it again. Okay. But there are two ways to go through this track. There's one way to go through it by accepting and, letting these recurring spirits keep reoccurring with you and weaken you and get you to come up to being able to be demonically possessed by a higher level. Because that's what these are. That's what the 7 deadly sins were so terrible, because they basically were like gateway drugs. Gateway. They're gonna let you oh my goodness, y'all, I keep on falling off. So what I'm finna do is just clear it. Whew, let's just clear it. Yep, let's just clear it. Cause I'm just stuttering. I'm just stuttering. Okay. The other way to go up this, because this is why I ain't even said what I'm trying to say yet. And it's like they won't let me get it out. So, the other way to go up this daggone me charts is to be a strong individual. A very strong individual. To be an angel on earth. Some of y'all are angels on earth. Some of y'all are powerful. Some of y'all are giants in the spirit. And because of that ain't work. So they said, let's hit you with this. Let's hit you with this. And since we can't get you, we're going to get everybody around you. We're going to get everybody around you. Matter of fact, if I can just send one person in that you trust enough, I can get all of this. That's how much more powerful that is from that. But that ain't even the biggest trick they got in the book. But we're going to talk about the demonic possession in the next video. But so we're just not gonna get stuck on it right now. But thank you so much right here. This was what, cause I was like, what do I call y'all? I was like, my images. Y'all are my images, okay? We're reflections, okay? You are me and I am you. And so I was giving this love. I gotta give you the love, okay? So, I don't know how to end this. I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna just say, y'all have a good. Take your time. Take your notes. Do not rush this. It's good if you go back over your notes, and it's good if you go back over your notes and double check and make sure that you are actually internalizing this information. Like, it's quite important that you don't just take this and say, oh, that's some information. I want you to sit back and reflect on the reoccurring spirits in your life. I want you to look at the years of 9 in your life. I want you to look at your karmic cycles. Okay? And then, as for your homework for demonic possession, I want you to look at these from your lovers, your children, your friends, your co-workers, and even people you don't even know that's just popping up out of nowhere, your NPCs. I want you to look at these people who keep having the same reoccurring spirit inside of them over and over, and it seems like they can't get right. They do this to you, they do this to everybody, they do this to they don't give a care. And no matter what you do and how you talk to them or how many times they bump their head, they do the same shit. They possessed. So that's your homework. Check on that in your life, so when we come back in here, it's gonna really make sense and really feel like some different type of stuff. But other than that, y'all have a good rest of your day, and I leave you well. I leave you settled.